I have a website, andycormier.blog, and I write articles about the same topics that I make my videos on. And that's because a website with my name looks a lot better to employers than YouTube videos. However, my website is far from perfect. So today we'll dive into the problems that my website has, my solutions for those problems, and then we'll finish off with the end result and takeaways anyone can implement in their personal branding. First, make sure you subscribed, watch this video to the end, leave a like if you learned something, and let's get to some practical problem solving. So first off, the site's aesthetic is pretty much fine. My headline's pretty accurate. It has a nice photo of me. You scroll down, you see my articles, you see my recent posts, and you see the categories. However, there are some issues with this. First off, if you want to find a post older than anything on the recent posts tab, you have to either scroll really far. Like if I want to find a blog post that I posted 2 months ago, I will have to just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And eventually I'll get to something from a month and a half ago, not even 2 months ago. Or you have to just know what category it's in. And I have way too many categories. As you can see, book reviews, college, creative, streaming, journal, lifestyle, money, ocarina, travel, uncategorized. There's too much going on there, and if I'm using my website as an asset for potential future employers, they need to be able to find the juicy stuff right away. But I need better navigation. That's the point of this. The next issue with my site is that my about section is extremely outdated. I have not updated this in like 2 years, and it shows. It talks about me still having a full-time job right here. Hire me, please. And it's way too long-winded for someone to actually get a sense about me within 15 to 30 seconds. And if this is for future potential employers, they need to be able to understand what I am about within 15 to 30 seconds of starting reading. And as you can see, this is quite long-winded. I need to get rid of most of this. And then last, this is something that I won't be doing in this video, but I want to have a section on my site where people can book my services, maybe contract or freelance work, things like that. So that would mean adding a really solid portfolio section of past work and case studies, as well as concrete steps for how someone could book my services. But again, that's for a future video. This might become a whole series. Given that the main problems are that my site is kind of outdated, it feels like a fancy Tumblr blog, and it's really hard to find older posts unless you really know where to look, we are going to fix navigability first and foremost. As for themes, I'm looking at this one called Hever, I don't know. It seems well optimized for all formats, that being mobile, tablet, and desktop, and it has exactly what I'm looking for with navigation in that it has a really distinct home page that you can set up. Here's a little live demo of it. We can just scroll down, see that there's like, oh, here's one group of columns, here's another group, here's another group. Nice little quote, about us, contact, address. And if we just go like up to news, you can see I can still use it as like a blog. I can set up an about page right here, and it looks good. All right, so let's activate it. All right, we've taken the first step to convert to the new theme. We still need to set up our new navigation, but look how simple this is. There's me, there's my pages, which I still need to add more onto. There's a main page you can look at, and then here are my 3 main categories for creators, for businesses, and for ocarinists. And I can add even more below. This is far from perfect, but this is a really good start. Let's keep working. We got another little update on the organization. I set up buttons for each category so that they're easier to find and notice and know that you should click there to get to the categories. Now let's make our category pages. Now, when it comes to categories, our first step for improving navigation is to cut down the top level categories. Most of these that you see used to be top level categories. That was unacceptable. Now the categories include Andy's World, which is like my old archive, my book reviews, personal stuff, travel logs. Next, there's 4 businesses, which include like case studies and other things that I think will be relevant for that. Then there's 4 creators and 4 ocarinists. Now I'm going to start recategorizing my articles and get started on making pages for the categories. Okay, I have adjusted the categories of basically everything I've ever posted. That was moderately tedious and you don't have to see any of it. But really quick, to do those edits, I use the bulk actions on WordPress, as well as just doing little quick edits using their classic post editing section format thingy. So basically I would just go in, quick edit, select the categories, and hit update. And that was that. So now we will be making pages. So if we want to make the cleanest look possible for our blog archive category page thingies, we should probably just go with this one that has the icons and the blog title, nothing else. Let's set that up. I've set a for creators query menu, so basically if anything is categorized for creators or in any of the subcategories, if you go onto this page, you can just go through it and you'll get all my posts for creators. Oh my god, why isn't my channel growing? That was a really old post from 2018. Gosh, what's that even about? I still need to figure out how to make my face smaller here because I don't need to take up half the screen. However, as it stands, this is a solid start. I think I have figured out how to remove my gigantic face from all the pages. So if I go to customize under my appearance section for my theme, so first off, I go to site identity and I remove the logo. It's gone. Okay, my homepage is pretty much done. If you click any of these 3 buttons right here, it'll take you to a nice little gallery of those posts. Here's what the for creators one looks like. As you can see, it goes down about 20 posts. And this is the same for both for business and for ocarinists. I will add to these respective pages for creators, businesses, and ocarinists for their respective visitors, like embedding some YouTube videos into the for creators section, or embedding my portfolio into for business, or some ocarina music in the for ocarinists. But as it stands, these are functional. It's raining really hard outside. Okay, I think I'm done with all my renovations of my website for today. I have a very short bio. I have a link to my about page if you click on my face, and look, it's my face again. That insinuates that you're on the bio. Then you go back home, and then you got the for creators, for the businesses, and for ocarinists. And also on the homepage, I added little emojis for each of the sections because that adds a little bit of fun and character. And then also check out one of my articles. So there's this little rotating menu that just goes through a lot of my articles. Also, for some reason, this one's header's not working, but we'll figure that out later. But as you can see, it's a nice little preview of my articles. So if someone's looking at my site, sort of getting a sense of what I have, they also can see a bunch of articles right here. I might want to add this to other articles because this is a very pretty way to link to other posts. I've also dramatically shortened my about page. I cut out a lot of detail and I've bolded the most important things. So this is a much quicker read for somebody skimming through. And I've also added an all posts page if someone just wants to browse regardless of category. And these gray sections on the homepage, I don't really have a point for them yet, but I do think I could do something with them in the future, so they will stay and they'll become something else. And it also looks very solid on mobile. You got all the same details. This is a little janky because there's so many things, but it's all good. You got the quotes, you got those little columns, you got the footer. So yeah. See, I'm really proud of the changes I've made to my website, andycormier.blog. Check it out if you haven't yet, because it's going to be getting more updates over the next few months. Okay, so it's actually 2 days later now, and I've made even more changes. Oops. So if you go to the for creator section, I've added a little blurb at the top that discusses sort of my background in this area, as well as both my playlists that are most relevant for creators, the left being related to brand deals and creativity, and the right being related to tech. And then if you want to go to the blogs, just scroll down, you'll see the read for creators, and it'll take you to the same blog post section that was there before. These blog posts were what this page started with, and then I added all this stuff on top. The same goes for the for ocarinists section. So right here, if you go into the ocarina section, I have a little blurb talking about my background with the ocarina here. There's a little playlist with all of my ocarina videos, and then there's the ocarina articles. But there's one more thing, this big yellow button. Where does it go? It still needs some work, but this is going to be a fairly comprehensive shopping guide for all things ocarina in various different categories, such as best starter ocarinas, ocarina method books, as well as best Zelda replicas. Right now, there's a lot of copies and stuff. It's nowhere near done, but it's in progress. And when you're building a personal website, it is a constant work in progress. You constantly have ideas and you need to figure out how to make them happen. I've spent so much time figuring out how to make things happen. Okay, back to the original video. So what still needs to be done? You need to subscribe, hit that button down there. If you're not already, do it. If you are, thank you. You're my friend, parasocially. But other than that, I need to add a portfolio, figure out what to do with those 2 placeholder sections, and also figure out how we can get every step on the marketing user journey, from awareness through consideration to purchase/conversion to retention to advocacy. I could put like an email newsletter, have paid consultations, things like that. So, as well as case studies with quotes from people who I work with giving me recommendations. If I'm treating my website as the front of Andy Cormier, the creator, musician, and business person/marketer, I should have some business stuff on there, not just my content. I could also consider adding some reasonably priced products on there. Maybe a very reasonably priced course on working with brands. By reasonably priced, I mean like under 30 to 40-ish dollars. Maybe that ballpark at most. Maybe make a Skillshare course and link to that. Or maybe set up like a Gumroad store with Notion templates for pitching to brands. The world is my oyster and we'll see what happens. But what are some takeaways for you? Your personal branding needs clarity. Just because I had a website didn't mean it represented me well or was usable at all for branding. If we compare my old website and all its poor navigability and Tumblr-esque look to my current website, it is night and day. Someone should be able to figure out what I'm all about within 15 seconds of glancing through my website, and that was not the case, but I think it is now. This concept of 15-second glanceability is not just for websites. Use it for resumes, portfolios, pitch decks, things like that. People picking who to hire or who to work with in a brand deal don't spend that much time on any given person, so you need to make it really easy for them to understand who you are and what you're about. Another major takeaway is that you should reinvent the wheel. Just because something works doesn't mean it cannot be improved. I could have let my blog sit there and gather dust, but just like wheels have been constantly improved through history, from stone to wood to metal and rubber, your skills and pieces of personal branding can also constantly be improved. And last, this is my professional bias because marketing is my background, but think like a marketer when you make your content and develop your personal branding. Content creation and marketing are practically the same industry now. Marketers have learned from content creators to improve their company's branding. Like, look at those relatable social media pages like Wendy's and things like that. And you can do the same in the opposite direction by learning from marketers and companies. Be more analytical, try marketing models, and use more business-like strategies when approaching your content. Thinking like a business does not make you a less personable or relatable creator. In fact, using these strategies can make you understand your audience better and serve them better, which makes them relate to you more. I'm gonna make a full video about applying a business mind to being a content creator, because that is a useful topic. And if you want to better understand why I have a website in the first place, watch my video about why I have a blog. Otherwise, leave a like, subscribe for more, watch that video next, and I'll see you next time. Happy creating.